Aliens took 12 human lives, we took millions of theirs, an HFY Sci-Fi story. The first death had been a freak accident, or so we thought. A research team stationed on Europa had reported strange energy readings emanating from a previously unexplored crevasse. The excitement in their voices crackled through the interstellar relay, a tangible wave of discovery. Hours later, their voices fell silent. It wasn't until rescue teams reached the site that we realized the full scope of what had happened. The bodies of the 12 scientists lay scattered across the icy plain, their expressions frozen in terror. Scorch marks, unlike anything our technology could produce, marred their suits, and near them, a device of alien origin pulsed faintly with an otherworldly light. We had made contact. It began subtly, a series of warnings encoded into messages we couldn't decipher. By the time we understood, it was too late. The attackers were called the Wraith, an ancient spacefaring species who saw humanity as reckless children trespassing in their domain. Their emissary, a towering insectoid creature with eyes like shards of black glass, transmitted a single message to Earth. You have encroached upon sacred grounds, retribution is swift, 12 of yours for 12 of ours. To them, 12 human lives were a balanced ledger. To us, it was an unprovoked slaughter. Humanity united in its grief and rage. For decades, the fractured nations of Earth had been at odds, even as we reached for the stars, but the Wraith gave us clarity. They underestimated our resolve, our adaptability, and, most of all, our capacity for vengeance. The war was short and brutal. The Wraith had superior technology, centuries of experience, and fleets that darkened the skies of our colonies, but we had something they lacked, an unyielding will to survive. We reverse-engineered their weaponry, learned to adapt our ships to their maneuvers, and struck where it hurt most. When they raised one of our colonies, we annihilated 3 of theirs. Their bioorganic ships, thought to be unbreakable, were torn apart by human ingenuity and sheer audacity. It wasn't just our weapons, it was our mindset. The Wraith fought with precision and calculation. We fought with passion, desperation, and fury. Every life they took was repaid 1,000-fold. When the dust settled, the Wraith homeworld lay in ruins, their once great empire reduced to scattered remnants. Millions of their kind were dead, their fleets turned to debris drifting in the cold vacuum of space. A delegation of their survivors approached us under a flag of truce. They were smaller now, their towering frames bent with defeat. Why? Their leader asked, his voice trembling. We sought balance, you sought annihilation. General Nadia Clark, the human representative, stared at him with eyes that burned like stars. Balance, she repeated, her voice sharp as a blade. You took 12 lives without understanding what they meant to us. Each of those lives was a universe, a daughter, a father, a friend. You didn't just kill 12 individuals, you shattered thousands of worlds. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a deadly whisper. You taught us one lesson, Wraith. If you take one of ours, we will take everything of yours. The Wraith retreated into obscurity, a cautionary tale etched into the annals of galactic history. Humanity emerged from the war stronger, hardened by loss but united like never before. We rebuilt, not just for survival but to honor the 12 lives that had ignited the flames of retribution. And as we ventured deeper into the cosmos, our message was clear. We may be small, we may be young, but we are not to be underestimated. For every human life is priceless, and our wrath, infinite. The Wraith were not the last to test humanity's resolve. The universe, vast and teeming with life, held countless species with ambitions, fears, and grudges of their own. Word of the war spread through the galaxy like wildfire. Some civilizations saw humanity as a threat to be avoided, a storm too unpredictable to challenge. Others saw us as a curiosity, a primitive species that had dared to bite back against a superior force and lived to tell the tale. But there were those who sought to learn from our violence, to understand the depths of our fury, and to exploit our weaknesses. The first encounter after the Wraith came from the Kalresh Collective, a species of hive-minded beings who thrived on assimilation. They did not send emissaries or warnings, they simply descended upon one of our outer colonies, overwhelming its defenses with biological swarms. They thought we would break under the pressure. They thought wrong. The USS Retribution, a carrier-class warship, arrived at the scene within hours. Its captain, Marcus Valen, carried the lessons of the Wraith war like scars upon his soul. When he saw the Kalresh ship stripping the colony of its resources and its people, He gave the order without hesitation. Deploy the swarm breakers. The swarm breakers were a new weapon, born from humanity's darkest creativity. Thousands of microdrones, each programmed to seek out and disable biological and mechanical systems, surged forth from the retribution. The Kalresh, so used to overwhelming their prey, found themselves disoriented and exposed. It wasn't just a battle, it was a statement. Humanity would not merely defend itself, it would dominate its attackers. By the time reinforcements arrived, the Kalresh fleet was a charred husk, their once cohesive hive mind shattered by the swarm breakers. The galaxy took note. The war with the Kalresh solidified humanity's reputation as a species that thrived under pressure, one that turned its adversities into weapons of unimaginable power. Diplomatic channels opened, treaties were signed, and alliances were forged. But not all relationships were built on peace. In the shadows of the galactic stage, whispers of a coalition against humanity began to grow. Old rivals of the Wraith, species jealous of our rapid technological advancements, and others who simply feared our potential began to conspire. They called themselves the Consortium of Balance, a coalition intent on curbing what they saw as humanity's unchecked aggression. The first coordinated strike came without warning. A fleet of consortium ships appeared in orbit over Mars, targeting its terraforming stations and fledgling cities. The attack was precise, designed to cripple rather than destroy. It was a mistake. Mars was humanity's heart of resilience, a symbol of our ability to conquer the inhospitable. The consortium had underestimated how deeply we would defend it. Within hours, the Red Legion, a specialized Martian defense force, mobilized. Their ships, painted crimson to blend with the planet's surface, struck back with surgical precision. Consortium vessels fell one by one, their advanced shielding systems rendered useless by a Martian-developed energy disruptor. And then, as if to hammer the point home, Earth sent reinforcements. The combined fleet, a testament to humanity's unity and ingenuity, drove the consortium back into the void. Humanity's message echoed across the stars once more. We did not seek war, but if you bring it to us, we will finish it, completely. As the consortium licked its wounds, humanity continued to grow, not just in strength but in understanding. We reached out to those who were willing to coexist, sharing knowledge and building alliances. But we never forgot the cost of peace. Deep in the heart of Sol, a monument stood in silent vigil. The names of the 12 scientists whose deaths had sparked humanity's ascension were etched into its surface. Around them, the names of the countless others who had fallen in the wars that followed spiraled outward, forming an ever-expanding constellation. Beneath the monument, an inscription read, "Every star in the sky is a reminder of what we have fought for, and of what we will never surrender." And so, humanity continued its journey among the stars, feared, respected, and, above all, determined to survive. In the centuries that followed, humanity's reputation as a force to be reckoned with became a cornerstone of galactic law. Our tenacity and ingenuity earned us both allies and enemies, but above all, it earned us space at the table of the galaxy's great powers. However, history has a way of circling back, and the galaxy had one last lesson to teach us: the cost of power is vigilance. The Silent Rebellion. It began as whispers in the fringe colonies. Discontent simmered among those who had grown tired of humanity's militarized posture, who felt that peace had been sacrificed at the altar of security. These dissenters believed that humanity's dominance had come at the cost of its soul. At first, it was sabotage, supply lines disrupted, communications blacked out. Then it escalated, entire fleets vanished, and colonies reported strange ships shadowing their skies. When the truth finally emerged, it was a revelation that shook humanity to its core. The Silent Rebellion was not an external threat, it was an internal one. A faction of humans, calling themselves the Eclipsed, had defected. They sought to distance themselves from what they called the path of endless war. Using stolen technology and alliances forged in secrecy, they had built a shadow fleet, ready to challenge humanity's dominion. Their leader, Elias Corvin, was a former general who had once been celebrated as a hero of the Wraith War. Now, he was a renegade, broadcasting his manifesto to every human colony. "We were forged in fire, but now we burn ourselves. We fought for survival, but now we fight to dominate. This is not the future I bled for. We will rise, not to destroy humanity, but to remind it of what it once was." The War of Shadows. The conflict with the Eclipsed was unlike anything humanity had faced before. They knew our tactics, our weaknesses, our strengths. Their fleets moved like ghosts, striking hard and vanishing before retaliation could follow. Worse, their ideology resonated with many. On the colonies furthest from Earth's control, rebellion spread like wildfire. The once unified humanity began to fracture. But humanity had always thrived under pressure. Admiral Cara Valen, a descendant of Marcus Valen, spearheaded the effort to bring the Eclipsed to heel. She knew that brute force alone wouldn't win this war. It required precision, diplomacy, and understanding. The turning point. The key to victory came not in the form of a weapon but in a revelation. During a decisive battle over the gas giant Juno, a covert operation infiltrated the Eclipsed flagship, Dawnfall. What they found was not just a fleet of rebels but a coalition of species who had secretly joined their cause. The Eclipsed had become a rallying point for those who feared humanity's unchecked growth, a beacon for the downtrodden and oppressed. It was both their strength and their weakness. Admiral Valen broadcast a counter-manifesto, addressing not just humanity but the galaxy at large. You see us as conquerors, but you forget we were once prey. Every step we've taken into the stars has been in defense of our survival, our right to exist. We do not seek war, but we will not shy from it. If you join the Eclipsed, you join a fight not for freedom, but for chaos. But if you stand with us, you stand for a future where humanity and its allies rise together. The aftermath. The Eclipsed crumbled under the combined weight of Valen's diplomacy and the galaxy's shifting tides. Those who surrendered were granted amnesty, those who resisted were given swift justice. But the war left scars deeper than any before. Humanity had faced itself in the mirror and seen the shadows of its potential, a sobering reminder that the line between defender and oppressor is perilously thin. A new era. In the years that followed, humanity shifted its focus. The fleet was not disbanded but restructured into the Coalition Vanguard, an interspecies force dedicated to peacekeeping. Efforts were made to rebuild the trust lost with the galaxy and within humanity itself. The monument on Earth grew, its spiraling names now including those who had fallen in the War of Shadows. Beneath the original inscription, a new line was etched. Strength is not in what we destroy, but in what we build together. The stars still whispered of humanity's wrath, but now they also whispered of its wisdom, a species that had fought to survive, learned to dominate, and finally chosen to lead. And as humanity's ships sailed further into the uncharted depths of the galaxy, one truth remained unshaken. No one took from humanity without understanding the cost.